You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's Big Brother After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Big Brother After Show.
Hey guys, Bing is for doing, and we are doing another after show for Big Brother, Season 15, Episodes 14 through 16. I'm actually Justin Walter, filling in for Ryan Allen Creel. He is in Florida at a reality TV charity event, and he probably is hungover right now. Would you say that, Ashley? He's having a blast making money for charities using his reality TV fame, if that's what you want to call it. Yes, making money for children, an awesome cause. So, but joining me here is the lovely, beautiful Ashley. Hi. You're here every week, so you're kind of taking charge of the fort this week.
But every week after that.
Yes, definitely. So I'm very excited. Actually, a little story about you. You kind of, I don't know if you follow me on Twitter, but you would always comment on our Survivor After Show feeds. I do the Survivor After Show, and I was so excited. I was like, Ashley from Big Brother is responding to my tweets. Love it.
What Survivor were you on?
Oh my God. Ashley! I was not on Survivor! She's stabbing in the heart because I think all my Survivor After Show fans know that I am dying to get on one of these competition reality shows. Survivor. You can still call me.
Wait, you have a dream board?
I do not have a dream board. I need to create one, huh? You actually did that, I think I read in your interviews before Big Brother, right?
Did, yeah.
And Big Brother was on your dream board.
Yeah.
How long on your dream board was it on before you got on the show?
Actually not. I had a dream journal that really helped me, and it was about a month before.
Nice. And you also, I believe I read that you read Dan Giesling's guide to getting reality TV.
I did. And I took a lot of his advice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, afterwards we can chat about that.
Okay.
I need all the help I can get. So Big Brother, I love Big Brother. I'm a huge fan of the show, so super excited to fill in for Ryan this week. And this week was a good week. It wasn't crazy with drama in terms of racial commentary and big house events, but it was a pretty decent week, starting with Aaron being the new head of household.
Yeah.
And basically Helen being the head of household.
Oh my God, basically. It was kind of a little bit predictable. Maybe not, because we didn't know if things were going to switch and the house was going to go against Amanda, but then obviously that didn't happen because someone on Twitter called her Demanda. I think that's hilarious.
I think that's good.
Yeah,
it's interesting because what I liked about Sunday's episode was when we got to see Helen actually making that deal with Aaron, because the Sunday Now episode seemed to be we're going to show you the clips before the HOH competition that you didn't get to see because of the live show.
Right.
So I think that was fun to see the behind the scenes of that, where Helen basically said the deal: if you win HOH, you're going to put up Spencer and Howard. And that was the deal. And
Aaron went with it. Now Aaron's very docile and just like bows down to everyone, and
it's crazy.
Yeah, and it's funny how her and Helen are all like BFF now.
It's weird because you remember when a while back when Aaron was in the heat of all the arguments and everything, that Helen actually kind of approached her for a secret deal, and they talked about that. In my mind, I was like, that is genius.
Oh yeah.
And I think it reminds me actually of the June and Allison alliance from way back in Survivor. I'm not Survivor.
Oh yeah.
Saying Survivor.
Big Brother.
Remember in Big Brother when June and Allison made that alliance where they were enemies in the house? They didn't talk. The only time they ever talked was really when they strategized one-on-one, and everyone thought they were enemies, and they were the final two, and everyone was blown away.
Genius. I really wanted that.
And I'm not saying it's just that because June and Helen are Asian. No, not saying that. But I love Helen this season. Helen is amazing. I'm a big Helen fan. I'm supporting Helen.
Okay, you know what? I was a big Helen fan, but I watched the live feeds, and sometimes she's just very overpowering, acting like she runs the entire house, and
she is though running the house.
She is. She's a
Well, I have a little confession as we go through this after show. I actually don't watch the live feeds. I did one season, and it ruined the fun of watching the show for me. So I've decided moving forward I don't watch the live feeds. So any live feed things you want to bring in, I'll listen to him today because we're doing this show, but I hate watching the show and knowing who won HOH and knowing who won Power Veto, who the replacement nominee is.
Well, now you know. Now we're just recapping, so
just
it's okay. I can fill you in on all the live feeds. It's weird because they're like my friends. Like,
yeah.
It's like a big joke with all my friends. They're like, "Who's in the background? Do you have people over?" I'm like, "Oh no, it's just my Big Brother friends." Like,
and I think another reason why I don't watch it is because when I had it, I was addicted.
Yeah,
I would like watch them sleep, waiting to see if someone would wake up and say something. You know,
it's so pathetic.
It's kind of a whole different show watching the after show and the live feeds
too. It's a 24-hour show. Like
it's fun.
I crave it. Like I get home, that's the first thing I do is turn on my computer.
So as a contestant in being in the Big Brother house, Erin makes that deal clearly to save her life. She knew she was on the line the week before. She had to cut a deal. She cut it with the puppet master of the season so far, Helen. Saved her butt. And a unanimous vote against Caitlyn, 9-0, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And would you have followed through with that deal? Do you think it was smart for Erin to follow through with the deal? And because Spencer and Howard were approaching her saying, why are you going to go with everyone who already has deals? You're at the bottom of their totem pole. Let's switch up the game. Let's go and make a new alliance. So do you think it was smart for Erin to follow through with the deal she made with Helen?
You know what? I guess this early in the season, I know it's already
we're already
to the
halfway.
Middle,
Yeah.
I know, which is weird. I do think it was a good idea for Erin to do what she did just to keep things calm for her. I mean, as a viewer point, obviously you want something crazy to happen, like Amanda to go home and like everyone freak out.
Yeah.
But it was smart for her.
So let's think if Erin would have gone with Howard and Spencer and flipped the game, would she have been in a better position moving forward? That's the question.
Because the numbers, she didn't have the numbers. That's just like in my season when I thought, I'm going to go with Boogie and Frank, and I thought Ian, but Ian was right in the sense where he's like, I went with the numbers. I just logically thought about it. So you got to go with them, I guess. Yeah.
So it was interesting that she went with the deal. And I think what you point out earlier is she's kind of become this like low key, less of a aggravating character, which almost makes me think she's going to go really far this season now.
I know. Now I do too. She has no target on her back.
Yeah.
She had this huge target, now nothing. And now everyone else is making these targets.
And because of her history, it's the perfect reason to want to bring her to the end.
Oh, yeah.
Like if Helen were to bring her to the end, or if anybody were to bring Erin to the end, who can really vote for her after all she's done?
I know.
She's the perfect person to bring to the end.
She is. She has been she won 2 HOHs.
She's been dominating a a little bit.
Yeah, she's playing the game.
Yeah.
You gotta give her that. But
I do give her credit.
She's just not a very liked person.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
One thing on Sunday's episode that I thought was funny and kind of stuck out to me was the whole bathtub scene with McCrae and Amanda.
Oh,
what do you make of that?
I have secondhand embarrassment watching them.
So as a couple in general, you don't like them as a couple?
I think they're cute and everything. However, it's funny because I feel like McCrae is just not that into her. If you watch the live feeds, you'll see McCrae getting like irritated with her, and she's so needy. Okay. And she's always like, McCrae, like touching his face and like always jumping on him when he's sleeping, and he's just like, And then apparently, this is a spoiler alert. There was a huge fight last night in the house.
Was last night in the house?
Yeah, but I'm not going to talk about it.
After HOH? Or?
Yeah, we'll talk about that next week. But
I want to come back. Ryan, stay in Florida.
Right, come back anyway.
Yeah, put me right here, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. I have no idea what it's about, and I guess next week I'll have to have you guys tell me.
Well,
who does it involve? Just give us a little
everybody.
Tease. Everybody,
but mainly Amanda.
Another huge fight.
But you know what it is? It's like McCrae's smart, and he wants to win this game. Yeah. You can tell. It's like his head's always spinning, and he thinks that this, because showmances do, they put a huge target on your back, and Amanda just wants to ride it out to the end with him, and he's like, it's getting too crazy.
The one thing I do have to say about McCrae with the showmance thing is he's in the better position. Usually I feel like in showmances, the male is the one who's targeted first. You look at Rachel and Brendan. Always the male. It's
Jeff
always the male. Jeff and Jordan, always the male. Even I remember in season 3, Lisa and Eric, I think his name was, and Lisa went on to win the show once her showmance got voted off. And it's always typically the woman stays in out of the showmance, and then she goes far.
Yeah.
But this time around, since Amanda is so Demanda,
she is. She's the dominant.
She's
figure in the
she's in charge. she's gonna be the target, and then McCrae can sail through.
You know what? You're right. I didn't even think about it like that.
It's in my opinion, it's like McCrae's in a perfect position in terms of with that showmance, because who are they gonna get out before? Amanda.
Right. Apparently last night he called her effing crazy.
Drama in the showmance world.
I love it. And then I was on last week or whatever, last time we did the show, I was like, I love Howard and Candace, and that's gone.
Yeah. Well, speaking,
she might be reuniting with him this week though.
Oh, spoiler.
Well, I don't know.
No, who knows? But speaking of Howard, so Howard and Spencer went up as the nominees, the original nominees, and they clearly are kind of ostracized from the house.
Yeah.
And it's still like the moving company remnants of that alliance.
Oh my God, they won't let it go. It's like,
let it go.
It's Big Brother. People lie. There's alliances.
Yeah.
Like, get over it.
Well, and it's funny because since they crossed Helen, I think it comes back to Helen. Since they crossed Helen, that's why it won't be let go, because Helen is running this house.
Yeah,
and it's
she is.
you know, you do something wrong to Helen and goodbye.
Yeah,
I love her. Love her. So Howard calls a group meeting.
Yeah.
Gets everybody into the kitchen, or everybody is already in the kitchen while they're playing pool because nobody wants to be around them, and has a group meeting to set things straight. So Ashley, what did he set straight for you?
Nothing. Unfortunately, he likes to talk in those metaphors. I get it, I guess, because it keeps him safe. Like, he's not mentioning people's names, but I don't get it. No one got it.
It was like the craziest little, what are you talking about?
Right, and I feel like it just made it worse. It made his whole... I do know that feeling, though. It's weird. Like, even when you're on the block, even if you're supposedly a pawn, it's like people don't... It's like you go on the block and you are ostracized. Like, no one wants to talk to you.
Okay.
It's like you have a disease.
Even if you're the pawn.
Yeah, it's a strange feeling when you're on the block. Like,
Okay.
right after noms.
Okay.
Around that. I guess that's when the house meeting was.
Yeah, sometime around after that or whenever it was. Interesting.
What did you feel about the...
I mean, I thought it was just like, you're being ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was like, he was like, I'm going to set things straight and I'm going to like finally like put this house in line of me. And he just spoke in such generalities and like, if you have things that you're saying about me, say it to me. And it was just, and he's a really eloquent person in general.
Right.
I feel like he's smart. He's a good guy, and everybody seems to respect him as a person. So it's just like you said, it dug himself in a hole. And I think what was funny was the aftermath when they were all in the HOH bedroom. And then Judd was like, I thought he was talking to me. Andy was like, no, he was looking at me. Amanda was like, no, he was talking about me.
Right.
So it was kind of fun in terms of like, everybody was like, who the hell was he talking about?
Exactly.
You know?
I know, and that's where it kind of just made him more of a target.
Yeah, it made him more of a target. It made him, just kind of stand out as like, let's get him out of here.
And it's funny. No, how things backfire on people, because you know how Candace freaked out on
the house.
Spencer.
Oh, the Spencer, yeah.
And then it's like all of a sudden now everyone's feeling bad for Spencer, and now Spencer's like buddy with everybody again.
It's crazy.
So sometimes those house meeting backfired on Willie in my season. It's like it doesn't work.
Well, I was trying to think of it in general, house meetings, because we can talk about Candace at a house meeting as well. But in general, I feel like in Big Brother history, house meetings backfire. One of the only ones that ever worked was Dan's.
Oh, you mean the funeral?
The funeral.
Right.
Yeah. The funeral, Dan's funeral, was one of the only house meetings I ever feel like I can think of like, wow, that actually worked.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, what other house meetings? I can't really think of it. Fans, if you think of one, 424-256-1633, call it and talk about that, house meetings, or just in general, what you think of the show going on this season. But I can't really think of other house meetings that worked. And I feel like, in theory, the idea of getting everyone in a room to listen to what you have to say is good. But it's just kind of like, it's not going to work.
No, it doesn't.
It's not going to work.
Unfortunately. Because then everyone, it's the same thing with leaders. Sometimes leaders always get like the wrath of things because you're trying to make a point, but people just are going to go later and talk about you. And it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. And you mentioned Candace. Candace, once, before, I think it was before the nominations or whatever it was, she went to talk to Aaron about, you know, flipping the game around and not putting Howard up and that sort of thing. And Aaron just, like, in her confessional was like, Candace speaking to me is like a wall.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
Right,
I don't
it's
listen.
not
It's not going to do anything. Which is interesting for me because I really thought a couple weeks ago Candace was going to be a big player this season.
Me too, because she does have that intuition and she is smart and she does have a good idea. Like when she called out Helen, sometimes when I watch the live feeds, I get confused what was on the show and what wasn't. But she did call out Helen and was like, "You're running the house," and Helen's like, "No, I'm not. No, I'm not." But she does have that intuition, so that's why I feel like she might go home next week.
She knew about the boys. She figured out the boys line. She was almost one of the people that really brought together the women to get out the boys in the beginning. Yeah, she did. And I think, in my opinion, what's really tanked her game is getting involved with Howard. I think it's like she was so good and social and in with the girls, and then when she kind of started latching on with her showmance to Howard, it made her lose sight of it, but also she just got grouped in with Howard and Spencer.
I do agree. That's where it's like, you got to be really, really careful with who you're, like, hooking up with or not hooking up with, like cuddling, whatever they do. I don't know.
Yeah.
But.
Who in your season, would you say Will was your go-to person in your season?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Because I feel like you definitely need a go-to person.
You have to.
But if it's a showmance, it's a bigger target.
Yeah.
Like, even though you and Will had a tight alliance and friendship, you weren't necessarily a huge like, oh, let's get them out right away. But if showmances always have that kind of. They
do, because they're always people assume a lot as well. They're like, oh, well, if he's voting, then she's gonna vote exactly the same way, so we have to get them out. So it's like,
yeah,
that's why.
And Candace getting upset a couple times with Howard this week because I think she's starting to realize, like, I'm letting my game go down the tube. You know,
like now I don't even know how she's gonna get back together, but we know that's possible. Look at Aaron.
Always. It's always a possibility. So Wednesday's episode is obviously the night where we find out who America chooses as their nominee. Do you like America choosing the third nominee?
I do.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
Why?
It creates so much paranoia in the house, and they're always blaming everyone else, and only Howard is the only one that, like, predicted that it was America.
Hasn't Helen been saying it too, though?
Has she?
I think in the show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Helen's been saying it too. One thing, I don't know, did you guys talk about it when Alyssa was America's nominee? I found that, like,
I think America
did
got
they make
confused.
the mistake the first week?
Do.
That's okay. That's what I remember. I was texting with Ryan, like, did America had to have screwed up?
Yeah, I think they just, because it was hard to catch it. I feel like, and if you're just, I feel
or like as many people that loved her and voted her for
that too.
You know, as many people loved her and voted her to be MVP. Maybe there's just as many that voted and don't want her to be in the game. Right.
And Aaron was on the block because everyone kept saying, "Oh, Aaron's definitely going to get it." But that's a good point too. Maybe she does have a lot of people that don't like her. I don't know.
As much as people love you, they might hate you.
Yeah, because that's with every huge, like, celebrity that has a really big fan base. They have just as many haters. You know.
Do you think the rules were kind of changed because Alyssa would have been in every week because she is the only one who has a fan base automatically going into this season?
I know, that's where it's kind of not fair. But you know, then again, Big Brother's really not all that fair. You have to take it like that.
You have to play
you can't
the
go
game.
in there and be like, this isn't fair, because it's signed up and you know that there's twists and all that.
Yep, definitely. Yeah. So Amanda nominated as the third nominee by America. What were your thoughts on that?
I was kind of surprised because I didn't know. I mean, I know people are kind of getting annoyed with her because she is just so demanding, I guess. But I didn't think she was going to go up. No, I really didn't.
I was kind of shocked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
I thought it would have been Gina Marie, honestly. I thought it would just been like that or that again. I was shocked it's Amanda, and I was kind of a little bit confused.
Me too. Or I thought maybe like Spencer, maybe.
I don't know. Yeah, I was shocked. I think I was shocked because I guess.
Oh well, Spencer was on the block.
Yeah, he was already in the block, so maybe Spencer had a lot of votes, or I don't know. But it was shocking for me because I thought in general people found Amanda funny in her confessionals.
Right, I thought they liked her because she does have good DRs and she is funny and like
she's playing. I think she's playing a decent game. She's kind of in there controlling things.
I know. That's where you just never know what people are thinking.
I know.
It's hard.
Interesting, America.
We want to know, America.
I would have.
Why?
I don't know. I wouldn't have voted Amanda. Who would
No,
you
I
have
wouldn't have
voted?
voted. Oh gosh, maybe Spencer, but
He was
on
already
the
there. That's
block.
okay. You could vote for him. So you don't like Spencer.
No, I don't.
Why don't you
really.
like him?
I just don't sometimes like the way he talks to the girls. I
Okay.
don't know. I mean, I don't really like hate anyone that badly.
Yeah.
It's just Spencer, I guess, is like the one I don't like. I like the
Do you
least.
like him the least?
Yeah.
Okay. So the 3 nominees, we got Amanda, Spencer, and Howard, and then the Power Veto competition. You want
Yeah.
to describe the competition?
Oh my god, it was awesome. I would have loved to be in this
was
one.
cool.
Yeah, the time machine, and they had to put together the puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
And at first I was like, oh, that puzzle kind of looks easy, but no way.
Yeah.
And first they had to find the pieces
Mm-hmm.
and then put that thing together.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, I was shocked Spencer won. I never would have thought he'd win that competition.
It's the production value first of the time machine thing. Big Brother clearly has hokey challenges
Yeah.
and that sort of thing. I loved the challenge.
I did too.
I was so amused and entertained
too.
by
I was
it.
like, whoa, these special effects are crazy.
Yeah, so they went in the time machine, and then obviously in editing it, the time machine transported, but really they just opened the back door and went to the backyard, and
It
then
was
this
cute.
like dinosaur land, and they had to find these prehistoric kind of like
Yeah.
pieces to a veto puzzle.
Right.
I just thought it was fun.
The costumes are the best.
yeah,
Like, I love it. And Helen, of course, got really into it.
she did.
And she looked like a mad scientist.
She did, and then someone made the comment of, "I'd hate to see Helen like in a couple, like if you
Right,
know."
in
That
a
was
couple
funny.
years.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, so Spencer won, and I mean, a lot of people had trouble with the challenge and couldn't even do any of it.
Yeah.
Like they were bad at the puzzles.
Or maybe they were just throwing it, or they were just really
Yeah.
bad.
I know, like it was between Spencer and Amanda basically.
Yeah,
the challenge,
for
and
sure.
obviously Amanda. They always do this. People forget to find all the pieces. Amanda forgot 2 of the pieces, which screwed her up.
Mm-hmm.
And then she had to go get them, and then kind of redo things. And Spencer came in from behind and got it.
It was hard because it was a 3-dimensional puzzle.
Yeah, yeah. What? Aren't most puzzles 3-dimensional, Ashley?
What about like, what about a puzzle like on the
Okay. Yeah. True. Very a flat puzzle.
a flat puzzle?
I love it. So yeah, Spencer was nominated, so clearly he was gonna take himself off the
Yeah,
block, right?
And well, oh yeah, why didn't Spencer? Oh no, you can't do that. Duh.
Do what?
I was gonna say you should have took him and Howard off, but you can't.
Did you
can't
play
do-
Big Brother?
You can't do that.
You can take Howard off and himself. And
Take
that's
them both off.
that's the coup d'état. Like, that's,
Oh
you
right,
know.
and you know what? This season talks so much about this coup d'état.
Really?
Yes.
On the live feeds?
All the time.
Really?
They're always like, "Oh, what if it's a coup d'état? I'm gonna be so mad, coup d'état." And I'm like,
Interesting.
"Yeah, I
Or the
didn't."
Diamond Power Veto. There's a lot of little
Yes.
twists in there that we haven't seen this season yet.
Mhm.
I don't know. Do you think, in general, do you think that they're at a certain point in the game they're going to go back to 2 nominees, or do you think it's always going to be 3?
It's a really good question.
At a certain point, you probably have to go back to 2, right? I don't know. Maybe not. I'm trying to think
I don't know
logistically.
because when jury starts, they always do something a little different. So they're
Yeah.
definitely going to switch things up. I don't know if America's going to be voting anymore for the 3rd nominee. So you know what? I bet they do. They just take that off. And next week's a double eviction. So
Oh, did they announce that?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
yeah.
So it's the back-to-back eviction? That's going to
Yeah,
be big.
and I'm really curious who's gonna go home.
Those are always
Oh
fun
my
because
God,
it's
they're
like
the
that's where
worst. I went out on a double
I
eviction. It was the worst
know.
day ever.
That sucks. And
Yeah.
you can't prepare yourself. You
Not
can't
at all.
fight.
There's no way. Like even if you do know it's a double eviction, how do you prepare?
Yeah. So you mentioned earlier, I think one thing that's kind of interesting is this whole America being MVP and it causing a lot of like
Yes.
drama in the house because you don't know and people are coming with theories. Like for someone who's never been in the house and for fans of the show, how much does the speculation and the ideas you create in your own head affect the actual game when you're playing it?
It can ruin the whole game. Your whole game can be completely messed up. I know one incident in particular, Russell from what season was that? Like 11 maybe?
Okay.
With
I
Jeff
can't
and
remember.
Jordan and all
Yeah.
them, the first time they were on. And I just remember one time he was like freaking out, and he was so paranoid, and that's what got him sent home.
Yeah.
I believe. Don't quote me on this, guys. But he was really paranoid, and it's already starting in here because they don't even believe. Like they'll be like, are you MVP?" And they're like, "No," and then they don't believe you, and then it's so much speculation. I think your head just goes crazy, and I think Amanda was having a really hard time with it.
Interesting.
Because she didn't know.
Okay.
And she's one of those people that wants to know.
Yeah.
You know, like. Who put me up?
Who put me up? And especially if it's her. Who put me up? I need to find out so I can get them back and get them out.
Exactly.
Yeah, interesting.
So,
and it kind of almost
definitely.
like you can just derail yourself and you just go crazy.
That's where I think, Big Brother is genius.
It's good. Yeah, it is. It is. And that's the thing, too. Like, even the week before when everybody had the theory of, oh my gosh, Alyssa's MVP. She put herself up.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
You would, that's like people that don't use the veto on themselves. Like, you don't do that.
And it is kind of like they're giving her this, like, oh my gosh, she's such an amazing strategist and gamer, and giving her this kind of aura and persona when she didn't do it.
I know.
And that hurts her game, because then people start thinking this is a genius move.
Right,
you
right.
know?
I know. It's funny how like a lot of times these, just like as like rumors in high school, someone will just say something or make up a blatant lie and then it never gets erased.
Yeah.
It's like, that's really sad.
Yeah, and it just completely derails or affects her.
Yeah, and it's not even true at all.
Yeah. So we know Spencer's going to use the power of veto. So then the big question is, who should Aaron put up? And
and she's like, oh, the famous quote, "I don't want blood on my hands." They always say that.
Get your hands bloody.
Get him bloody.
It's like,
I was never
get him like Dan last season. He's just like blood all over. He loves watching Dexter, right? I see his Instagrams of that. He was playing Dexter last season.
He was. Oh, he was a mastermind.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, you don't want to get your hands bloody, but get them bloody,
Yeah.
You got to do some moves.
But the thing, he didn't get them bloody, technically.
Yeah.
He had other people. Yes.
So Aaron's faced with that, and everybody is, or most everybody is, kind of just put up Candace. It's easy.
Yeah.
She's an automatic vote for Howard.
Of course. It was the easiest choice. It didn't look very good, though. Mm-hmm. Just because of...
Well, it didn't look good from the outsiders, more so. And even Candace made the comment of... She was getting kind of a little catty, but Matt, when she was upset to Howard, she was saying, "Oh, shocking! Aaron put up the 2 African Americans."
Right.
And Howard's like, "Stop that! Don't go there!" That sort of thing.
Right. I know, and I had high hopes for Aaron in the beginning. She was like my top pick, and then even she calmed down. For a long time, she stopped saying like racial things, and then she said something again. Like she was watching
on the live feeds or in the show.
No, I don't think they aired it. It was on the feeds, but she was watching. They were in the HOH room, and she was watching the TV. Okay. And this is quote.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. "Hey, Aunt Jemima, go make some pancakes."
No.
Like the kind of. Like,
oh my god.
Yeah, and I just want to be like, Aaron, like, didn't you learn your lesson?
She's gonna have a rude awakening when she gets out of the house.
I kind of feel sorry for her when she gets out of here.
It's gonna be tough. They give you psychologists when you get out.
Yeah,
right?
you do. She's gonna need one.
She's gonna need it. That's not funny, but she's definitely.
No, it's not funny at all.
Yeah.
But she just, I don't know what's going through her little head.
Yeah. So it's Candace goes up as the replaced nominee. So it's Howard, Candace, and Amanda. And then that brings us to kind of yesterday's episode.
Yeah.
In general, in terms of the chaos that went on. Chaos. I feel like it was not crazy like we've seen in the past, but there were so many like A to B, B to C, C to D kind of people saying things, and it all traveling and that sort of thing. And yeah, it was just it was chaotic to me.
I know. As much as I do like watching Amanda, I kind of wanted it to be like how GM thought of the idea. She was like, in a perfect world, Amanda would have went home. Mm-hmm. And they could have got it together. They could have got the numbers to get out. There was that scene where it was Gina Marie, Jesse, and Aaron, where they were saying like, let's oh no, not Amanda. They were trying to get Candace out. My bad. Oh yeah.
Yeah, they wanted
because
Candace
they kept
out.
switching.
They kept switching
They were
back
always
and forth.
talking.
And I think just proves Amanda and Helen are just pretty much right now running the show.
Oh yeah.
So one of the first things that we saw was kind of a Spencer Amanda kind of conversation, or like Spencer saying he was going to go after Amanda, like that was going to be who he was going to go after. Spencer made a fake deal with Andy. Or not, he thought it was real.
Yeah,
Andy
the whole
and Judd
fake
and these
thing,
deals of like,
I don't
let's
get
get
that.
Amanda out. You know, at that point for Judd and Andy, is it kind of just like, why are you pretending? Just kind of be like, no? Or what do you think is better, to make those fake deals?
No, I don't agree with the fake deals. I think they just get you into trouble.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get the point of them. And I feel like, I mean, I guess sometimes when you're in that house, you're just delusional and you're thinking, oh, yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
And then it just comes to bite you in the butt.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, Andy, you know, then he reported back to
Of course,
he
yeah,
went
he's
to
the little,
Amanda.
he's like the little fly. That
Yeah, it's, to me, it's like the season has these dominant like players. I would say like Amanda and Helen, and then these loyal pawns.
Yes,
you know?
they are very loyal pawns.
The Andy and the Judd and the Jessies. You know, it's like these like dominant players and these loyal pawns, and it's kind of Eventually, I think the pawns will go after the king and queens.
I'm hoping that happens, that they get some guts and make a big move. But also, I was really shocked that Helen kind of went back. She was like saying that if she has to drop Alyssa, she will. I mean, I was like, whoa there, Helen.
So again, how did that come up when the conversation of dropping Alyssa?
I think she was talking to Aaron.
Yeah,
because
what was it?
She was causing drama, which, I mean, you know, I guess not that she was causing drama. She was like,
someone revealed the deal, right? That was made, and she thought the only person that could have done it was Alyssa.
Or I mean, not with
she thought it was Alyssa, so she, like you said, was like, if I gotta drop Alyssa, I will drop Alyssa.
Yeah, which I was like, whoa.
Sad. But that's Helen being a gamer.
Yeah, it is.
She is a gamer. So Andy told Amanda that, you know, Spencer's going after Amanda. She kind of flipped out and was like, and he was like, I'm not gonna go for you. Are you crazy? I don't have to say that again. Yeah. And she was just visually emotional about it. Mm-hmm. And then Amanda goes and talks to Spencer on the couch outside in the backyard, being like, dude, I know what you're doing. I got the numbers. Mm-hmm. It's not gonna work. Your plan is stupid.
Yeah, she was just.
And then, so what I found interesting about that conversation was, first Spencer was like, what are you talking about? No, I want Candace out, da-da-da-da. And then there was like a switch of like, no, I hate you. You know, like, who do you think you are? You're not running this house.
Exactly.
Da-da-da-da. It was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you said earlier you don't like Spencer because you think he talks down to women, or, you know, that sort of thing. Do you think?
I don't know. I think he told Amanda to shut up. I can't handle that when anyone tells me to shut up. It's just a very, it's a very strong word for is.
Just so for you, it's shut up in general, because Amanda specifically said, like, you don't ever tell a woman to shut up.
Yeah, I think it's not so much about a woman. Even if you said shut up to another guy, I don't think that's
just rude.
Yeah, I don't know. There's just something about me that kind of like makes.
You're so nice. You can just tell. And the flowers you.
Oh yes, my flower crowns.
So you sell those and make those, right?
Yeah, making them and selling them.
Where can people buy them?
On AshleyIocco.com. My store's in the process of.
Awesome.
Yeah, coming out.
It's your signature apparel.
I love it. I love awesome. Flower crowns.
It's good. They look good on you.
Thank you.
So then, you know, getting back to it, Amanda and Spencer have this big blow up, and then what Helen's doing so effectively this season, which I can't believe nobody's calling her out on it really, is she's taking people's conversations and then relaying them to other people.
Yeah. Which is really, that's a talent, I personally think, because I would try to do that. Like, I would try to go back and tell Janelle stuff, and I'd be like, I'd get it all confused. It's just, so, yeah, she is doing it.
So, yeah, she took that conversation that they had, went to Candace, and said, Candace, I heard Spencer talking about you, that he's targeting you. And clearly Spencer wasn't really targeting Candace.
No.
But, and, you know, and Helen, even in her confessional, she's like, if I can put a bigger target on people, setting them up for the future, I'm going to do it. She's doing these like smear campaigns, and it maybe part of it's her political background.
I think it is.
She's running her game like almost like a campaign.
Yeah, I knew it in the beginning that the whole politician thing was really going to help her, because it is kind of like that. Like you gotta, unfortunately, you gotta talk bad.
No, it's a political game, the entire thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then Candace then was like, all right, she was pissed. And, you know, because this guy's supposed to be fighting for her and Howard to get Amanda out. So then she called I was going to say a town hall meeting.
Yes. The town hall,
The
basically.
Big Brother
she
town
was
hall meeting
livid.
is like another town hall meeting. She was pissed.
She was pissed.
Livid. You think it hurt her or help her or what do you like?
No, I don't think those help you. I
Yeah.
really don't. I think, I don't know. Maybe it's just me because, I mean, I'm really, I hate confrontation more than anything, but I feel like it hurts you.
Yeah.
I do.
Nah, I think it's really hard to make those meetings effective.
Because everyone then felt so bad for Spencer, like I said before, and
Yeah.
everyone's like, his family's gonna watch this. I mean, yeah, I want to say, my heart goes out to all the families that are ever on Big Brother because it's hard, and as many loving, amazing fans are out there, there
Yeah.
are some very cruel and mean
Yes.
people, and now that the internet is so big, and they like Instagram and
Yep.
Twitter and all this stuff, and then they make these, they make those funny little
GIFs or
GIFs,
GIFs or whatever you call
GIFs,
them.
yeah. and even the pictures, I mean, Photoshop, everything, and they will do anything to tear you apart, and it's the hardest because the family has to see that.
What was your like after getting out of the house? What did your family say about watching you live and that sort of stuff and reacting to that? How did your family handle it?
My mom was real. Obviously, they were really into the show. Had like 2 computers open at a time, and my back, like I hurt my back on the show, so that was like it was upsetting, and that was hard for them to watch, and it was hard. As much as it's a happy time and they want to be happy for you, it's hard to see your kid get so ridiculed.
Yeah, and especially I think for this season, like Aaron's family's.
I was just gonna say that, like, as much, and then she was telling a story to Spencer in the HOH room about like her dad would never let her start a fight like that. How when Candace confronted, had the town hall meeting.
Yeah.
And she was saying, my dad would never let me act like that. She's like, even my boyfriends wouldn't let me act like that. And it's like, eek. Like I just want to be like, oh, well, you're like, what is your dad thinking right now?
Yeah, and I think there's actually been, I think it was Candace's mom there's been articles about her mom speaking out about like Aaron.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just things like, it was either Candace's mom or Aaron's mom. Either Candace's mom was saying that what Aaron's saying is obviously completely unacceptable and that sort of thing, and she should be off the show, and then these are completely different, so I should know which one, or it was Aaron's mom like defending. I don't think it was Aaron's. I think it was Candace's mom.
I don't know. I feel like Aaron's family is in hiding. I don't know what's going on with them.
Yeah. It's so weird. I just had a visual image of Aaron last night from the show. What is with everybody wearing everybody's clothes this season?
Yeah, that is a big thing.
Even like Aaron in the last week, she wore Spencer's like oversized like blue baseball shirt or something, some sports shirt, and then they all wear Judd's bear shirt.
Yeah,
like everybody's wearing and then they all are wearing Andy. Andy originally had that the cat shirt. So I feel like 3 people have been wearing the cat shirts.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they're all wearing each other's clothes.
I kind of like that.
Did you guys ever swap
cute.
clothes? Or
Boogie let me wear his hat, and so did Dan. Let me wear his hat because I love hats. And before you get in the house, they go through your clothes and they take away things that have labels on them or any because you can only wear college apparel. Right. So a lot of my stuff was taken and they let me wear their stuff. How
many, I don't even know, how much do you actually get to bring? Like 3 shirts? Like what is
it's one suitcase.
You can stuff as much in the suitcase.
As much as you can fit in that suitcase.
Only clothing, like in toiletries and stuff in the suitcase?
You can, but they recommend that for jury because in jury, they do give you like little sample things like to use in jury, but they really don't. I think that was just our handler being like a sweet person. Like she like got us a little bag of like travel size stuff.
Dude,
but
a good handler.
She is sweet. Loved her. But yeah, they don't recommend it only because they provide all that. Jason products, those all organic, natural stuff. It's amazing.
Interesting.
I know, I loved it. A lot of people don't like it because you use the toothpaste and it like doesn't feel like you brush your teeth because it's like just too organic-y.
Okay.
Sometimes you want that.
You want that
baking soda feeling.
One thing. So I have a bunch of friends that love Big Brother, and I got some emails from friends who watched the live feed, and I'm wondering if you can speak about this, that they were like up in arms about Amanda spreading a lie or a rumor about something Howard said in her ear. Did you see this or something? And it was like,
wait, this just happened?
no, this is supposedly. I got an email from one of my friends saying, did you see what happened on the show? Like, Amanda's such a jerk for spreading that rumor about Howard. Supposedly, I don't know if you saw this or what they said. It was that Howard whispered something into her ear, and she was telling everybody that Howard said once he gets out of the house, he's gonna sleep with her or something like that. So I don't know.
Sleep with Amanda?
Yeah. So then she was spreading that rumor through the house to try and get Howard out or something. So you didn't see that on the feeds?
No, I
All
missed that. Because,
If
you
my
know, it's
friend
hard.
is
You got
lying
to
to
work.
me-
You got
Yeah.
to pay your bills. You can't be watching them all the time.
Yeah, my friend, his name's Gabe. He loves the show, watches feeds. He emailed me this. Is like, what are you talking about? What does this have to do with anything? So I didn't know if you saw
I'm
that.
curious.
On the feed.
Guys, fill us in if anyone on
Yeah.
Twitter knows.
Yeah, I
Let us
don't.
know.
And if I guess it obviously didn't play a big role because they didn't show it on the show, and
Yeah.
and I mean you didn't see it, and we, you know, obviously there might be some stuff about on the blogs, but it clearly, I guess maybe at the time it happened.
was
I'm
a
sure
big
there's
deal.
reactions, you know, because for the live feed watchers.
Right. I'd be curious. I'd want to go and check on the blogs because, you know, it's hard to, even though there's 3 episodes a week,
Yeah.
which is a huge commitment to watch Big Brother, by the way, but it's like
The best commitment of the summer.
they have to fit all this stuff in.
Yeah.
So it's hard because you got to get the competitions and
Yeah.
then the DRs.
How many hours a day do you watch the live feeds?
A lot.
What's a lot? Can you remember? An estimate, an approximate, an average.
A week?
A week.
Maybe, 3, 10, like 21.
So you watch about 3 hours a day of the live.
Try.
feed.
Sometimes
You
it's
like,
just
kinda
like
have it
on in the background. Yeah,
Okay.
like I'll be doing stuff, but then you know you have to leave and do your responsibilities for life.
I guess.
But
you
yeah,
do,
I'll be
right?
making flower crowns and watching them, or
that's
like
good.
doing my computer work. It's always I never close the window.
Okay, so it's always on.
It's always on.
Always on. Always
I get
on.
really annoyed at those fish though. Now I understand.
You know.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So voting night, it's between Howard, Amanda, and Candace,
Mm-hmm.
and Howard goes home. Not very shocking.
No, but
A little lackluster of a vote
Sad.
out, right?
yeah, and I think I feel like a lot of people were very upset.
Mm-hmm.
The fans.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you had been following. Oh, and Moosey, hi Moosey, I love you.
Who's Moosey?
Moosey is a Big Brother fan, and she's lovely, and she's always filling me in
nice.
on things. Yeah, and she told me that Howard made top on Twitter or something.
Oh, trended?
I don't know.
We made top on Twitter? What does that
I
mean?
know. I'm not explaining it right. He was top on Twitter.
Maybe he was trending on Twitter.
He must have been trending.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
because then people were buzzing about Howard when it was going down or happening or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so he was trending.
He was trending.
He was
He
trending.
was hashtagging.
He was trending on Twitter.
Yeah. Good job.
Yeah. So I guess leading up to before the vote out, in terms of Howard and Candace trying to get Amanda out and all the drama of then people saying, let's get Candace out. Do you think there was anything Howard could have done to save himself at that point?
Not really. And I feel like Howard is very, he's not one to, he's one of those people, and I'm kind of the same way, where it's like, it's in God's hands. You know, this is happening for a reason. And if it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's kind of how he went about it.
Mm-hmm. One scene that was interesting that just came to mind was the scene where Jesse went into the have-not room with Howard and started crying after
Yeah, that was like heart-wrenching.
after he was nominated, saying like, I love you so much, I care for you, and I know how much this means, and you're one of the people that actually could use the money.
Yeah.
I thought she was gonna say, I'm gonna quit. Like, you know, I thought,
I had no
I
idea
was
they
like,
were so
where
close.
is this going? Yeah, one, I was like, where is this friendship? You know, like,
Yeah.
I haven't seen this at all, so it's
Right.
out of left field. And she was like, is she gonna like say I'll be nominated instead of you, or
Yeah,
where is
she
this
was
going?
really
She
emotional
was
about
really
that.
emotional. So it was a relationship and a friendship that I was so shocked exists, or you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I don't know. She's unemployed. She can use the money too.
She can use.
Maybe she's got money back from home. Who knows?
She said her mom lent her $3,000 to like get together, like clothes and like get everything.
For Big Brother.
Yeah, like get
Okay.
her out of her apartment and stuff. I mean, I stayed in my apartment. I know some people that do I guess, like sublease it or move out. But it's so unpredictable. I mean, how do you know you're going to make it to jury?
Yeah.
And then you come home, you don't have a place to live. Like, that's a little scary.
I think one of the hardest things, if I were ever on Big Brother, would be if you were voted off before the jury, and then you have to you leave, and then you see the show still going on, and you're not a part of it. That would be so hard.
That would be hard. But then a lot of people, like on the flip side, like Alyssa, and I know like Boogie said the same thing, which, not that I was happy he left, but I was happy he left right before jury, because they have families and babies at home.
Yes.
So it's like they want to get out
They
before.
can go. If they're not going to win, they'd rather not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because you're in the jury house, you're not doing anything.
Yeah. So what's your take on Alyssa, her point in the game right now? Because I feel like she was on everyone's radar, and it seems like she's kind of now a little bit under the radar.
Yeah, I feel
What
like
do you
she's
think?
under.
You think she's going to go a lot further now?
Yeah, I think she'll definitely make it to jury.
I like her. I like Alyssa.
Yeah.
It's fun watching Alyssa.
It is fun. She's really good at yoga.
Yeah.
I want her body.
Her body's
oh my
sick.
gosh.
She's got a crazy body.
It's just everything about it is
Yeah.
phenomenal.
She's in sick shape. She's in really good shape. So had a household competition. We see another endurance kind of physical challenge. For next week, we don't know who. You know who won.
I do, but we'll save that.
We don't spoil here, right?
No, we won't spoil.
I'm trying to think who I think. I'll predict.
It's actually very, like, you would never guess.
Oh, don't tell me that. Let's see here. I think if I'm gonna make a prediction, then who wants it? Who's gonna win? I'm gonna say hopefully someone new, like Andy, is gonna win. So
Okay.
I'll predict Andy.
Okay. Is someone
Is
new?
gonna win. I'd like to see
Andy.
someone.
No, Andy's like, I'm throwing this. I'm not winning
Oh,
anything. He's
no,
like, it's
did he?
No.
Oh,
I don't know.
geez. I'd like to see someone not in power, not necessarily. I want to see one of the middle people win, and just to see kind of make a move this week or make a move sometime and do something
different.
a little different. Give us a change or make a new alliance or whatever it is, because it's starting for the first time this season to get a little predictable.
Yeah, and you don't want to, like, I remember, like in season 12, it was kind of like that. It was like, it's just one side of the house is just dominating. That's
not
why they
fun.
do twists and things like that, Pandora's box, because they want to switch it up.
Yeah. It's really hard. In general, I think everyone who loves Big Brother, it seems like you have to pick a side. And once you're on that side, it's hard to navigate in the middle.
You can't, because if you're switching sides and you're not good at it, then you're going to get a target on your back.
Which is why I think Aaron and Helen, like the fact that they're that secret deal, I think that I could see them being the final two.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
Aaron
feel
and
like
Helen.
McCrae is going to make it really far.
Yeah.
Helen and Aaron probably, too.
It's the tough thing that Helen has, if she can keep it up, is she's going to start getting that target of you're running the house, Helen, we got to get Helen out, she's running the house, which then leaves Alyssa in a good spot.
Yeah.
If Amanda goes out, that leaves McCrae in a good spot.
Yeah.
Now Aaron and Gina Marie are going to be together. They're clearly together. So if Aaron went out, Gina Marie, it's always like you want to be in that two-person alliance, but you want to be the lesser of the target, because then when your buddy or your showmance is out, then you are not viewed as a threat anymore.
You're not, yeah, exactly. Then they just keep you around because they want to take you to the end, or what's gonna totally change things up is double eviction.
Yes,
I feel like that's always.
Yes, next week,
You
double
never know.
eviction week, right?
Yes.
Any predictions? Who's gonna go for double evictions?
What if it was Helen?
Oh, it could be. All right. Well, come check us out next week. Ryan will probably be back if he recovers from his trip, right?
Yeah, he'll
be back and he can.
But you need to come back too.
I'll come back with you guys. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
How can
coming
we
in.
follow you on Twitter?
Oh, you can follow me at Justin F. Walter on Twitter.
Cool. You
Yeah,
can follow me
you?
at Ashley Iocco.
Ashley Iocco.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining us, and definitely tweet us at AfterBuzz what you're thinking about the season, the show, and always make comments on iTunes and let us know what you're thinking.
Yeah, YouTube.
YouTube as well. So thank you guys, and cheers to double eviction week
Cheers,
coming up.
woo!
Let's get some drama in this house.
BB.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The music expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.